You have probably already tried this drink and have probably seen its advertisements everywhere. 136 years have passed since the creation of Coca-Cola, but it is still one of the most successful and famous companies in the world. Coca-Cola sold its products in over 200 countries and its logo is recognized by 94% of the world's population. In 1988, the Coca-Cola trademark was voted as the best-known brand in the world in 3 independent polls. Coca-Cola, Fanta, Sprite are the drinks familiar to many people since childhood. Coca-Cola is still the leader among beverage manufacturers to this day. But did you know that Coca-Cola began its journey to success as a medical drug? Let's talk about it on our channel right now. And for more clips, make the subscribe button gray, break the like button, and don't forget to click the bell. It's very important for us. Fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the flight. Much of Coca-Cola's success was due to Prohibition, which was introduced in Atlanta in 1886. That same year, a talented pharmacist and Confederate States Army veteran was looking for a way to beat his morphine addiction. Oddly enough, Coca-Cola might not have appeared if the American Civil War had not happened. In 1865, during the Battle of Columbus, Pemberton was severely wounded in the chest by a saber strike. Attempts to cope with chronic pain led him to the use of morphine. The pharmacist began experiments in search of a suitable replacement for morphine. One of the results of his experiments was the legendary Coca-Cola. Pemberton's first major success was Pemberton's French wine Coca, which included cola nut, 19th-century legal cocaine powder, and Damiana extract. Although this drink was very popular among businessmen due to the fact that the state of Georgia joined Prohibition in 1885, this wine tonic became illegal. Pemberton was forced to change the formula, replacing the alcohol component with carbonated burnt sugar. At that time, Pemberton did not yet realize the historical significance of his discovery and called his non-alcoholic brainchild Brain Tonic. First, he went with the first portion to his business partner Willis Vanabelle, who owned a chain of pharmacies. The Brain Tonic has received full acclaim and is marketed as a cough syrup, energy drink, and headache medicine that can help fight morphine addiction. However, the price of 5 cents attracted not only those in need of pain relief, but also anyone who was thirsty, which turned the novelty into a popular drink in the market. John Pemberton was not experienced in marketing, and therefore decided to entrust it to his accountant Frank Robinson, who, on top of everything else, was also a master of calligraphy. So, the legendary logo for Coca-Cola was invented by Frank Robinson. At the time, they didn't know what the name of the company would be, and Frank chose the name Coca-Cola and placed the name in nice curly letters on a red background. Later, Frank also became the author of the first advertising slogan, "Drink Coca-Cola." Despite the drink's popularity, Pemberton was not a talented entrepreneur. In addition, poor health made itself felt, and John Pemberton died in 1888. A branded Coca-Cola recipe was bought by Irish businessman Asa Candler for $2,300, then it was a solid amount of money. In the 1890s, Candler sells his chain of pharmacies and uses the proceeds from the deal to build the first factory to produce Coca-Cola on an industrial scale. It was Candler who registered the Coca-Cola Company in 1892. One of the clearest examples of an effective strategy to attract customers is Candler's decision to supply the city's pharmacies with 256 syrup portions for free in exchange for the addresses of regular customers who were sent coupons for free receipt of the first glass of Coca-Cola. The buyers appreciated the idea, and the first batch of promotional products was sold in the shortest possible time. In the 1900s, a second Coca-Cola plant opened in Atlanta. Coca-Cola advertisements are printed in all American magazines. In 1906, Prohibition continued to gain momentum in the whole U.S. The Coca-Cola slogan of that time was "The Great National Temperance Beverage." The recipe for Coca-Cola, however, continued to change. In 1906, the United States passed a law regulating the sale of cocaine and other stimulants that could be harmful to health. In 1914 to 1915, another law was passed, effectively banning the free sale of cocaine and other substances extracted from coca leaves. According to Snopes, there was just 1/400 of a grain of cocaine per ounce of syrup by 1902. As coca leaves purification technology improved in 1929, cocaine finally disappeared from the drink recipe. To maintain the tonic effect, the dose of caffeine obtained from cola nuts was increased. In 1915, the legendary bottle of Coca-Cola was patented. As the popularity of Coca-Cola grew, so did the number of fakes, but the unique design of the bottle did not leave them a chance. In 1916, the next stage in the development of the company began. Candler decided to pursue a career in politics and became mayor of Atlanta. Candler transfers the shares of the company to his heirs, but after 3 years they sell the company. The new owners are bankers, and Ernest Woodruff headed the corporation. In 1919, the Coca-Cola Company gained worldwide fame. After 4 years, Ernest hands over the management of the company to his son, Robert. Robert Woodruff served as president of the Coca-Cola Company from 1923 to 1985. Coca-Cola was valued at $40 per share when it entered the stock exchange, but after the company's conflict with sugar producers and bottlers, the shares fell in price by half to $19. Joshua Kennan, business blogger, states, "One share bought in 1919 for $40 would be worth $10 million in 2013 if dividends were reinvested." The shareholder would receive $270,000 in dividends per year before taxes, or $67,500 quarterly. In 1920s, the first Coca-Cola plant was opened in France. The company presents a branded glass cup, which is produced up to the present day. In 1928, the U.S. team brought 1,000 cases of Coca-Cola with them to the Summer Olympics in Amsterdam. Since then, Coca-Cola has been an inseparable companion of the Olympic movement and its official sponsor. In 1929, the drink was known and loved throughout America. The Saturday Evening Post has an entire column dedicated to Coca-Cola. Of particular note is the marketing success of the company. One of the main faces of the company was Santa Claus. In 1931, Coca-Cola commissioned the Swedish-born artist Haddon Sundblom to design a red and white suit for Santa Claus. Sundblom painted Santa Claus as a memorable, cheerful old man with rosy cheeks and a thick white beard. In addition, you must have seen that Always Coca-Cola advertisement with red trucks. This idea was proposed and developed by employees of the Creative Artists Agency in 1995. The best cars were selected for filming, and it took 30,000 light bulbs to decorate them. The special effects were handled by Industrial Light and Magic, which was involved in the filming of Star Wars. Of course, there is no success without competition. In the 20th century, a marketing war between Coca-Cola Pepsi brands began, which has been going on for more than 100 years. According to the Cola Wars book, in 1939 Coke's marketing budget was in the millions, while Pepsi's was about $600,000. Usually Coca-Cola was in the lead and rarely went on the defensive, but Pepsi had its successes. For example, one day Pepsi makes a marketing move that allowed them to significantly increase sales. They increased the volume of bottles by 2 times, while the price remained the same as competitors. Coca-Cola management reacted immediately. A lawsuit was filed for the illegal use of the word cola. The court accepted the decision was in favor of Pepsi Cola, and both companies could use the word. It took 76 years for Coca-Cola to reach $100 billion. In 1985, the Coca-Cola Company market capitalization was still below $10 billion. It reached $50 billion near the end of 1991. In 1995, Coca-Cola hit the $100 billion mark. As of February 2023, Coca-Cola has a market cap of $258.25 billion. Coca-Cola is also part of the zero waste movement, preparing to phase out recyclable packaging by 2025. Many factors contributed to Coca-Cola's success, from the pharmaceutical genius of John Pemberton to prohibition in the USA. But the most important key to a company's success is the marketing talent of its leaders in the 19th, 20th, and 21st centuries. The company was led by people who knew a lot about promotion, and thanks to it Coca-Cola became one of the most successful companies in the world. Do you remember how old you were when you first tried Coca-Cola? Write in the comments.